and welcome back to the Fit Curls. Wow, that was more enthusiastic than I usually do it. If you don't know who I am, my name is Angela. I am a fitness professional and a curly hair enthusiast, and I use this channel to teach you how to keep your curls in shape. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell next to it so you don't miss a single video. Now today, we are going to be reacting to someone's very first curly hair routine, and that someone is Ana Laura, the sister of the wonderful KAYLEY MELISSA, who is a hairstylist and a fabulously bingeable YouTuber who I have fallen in love with over the last several weeks, and I am so excited to see how they start Ana Laura's healthy curly hair journey. As I watch, I'm going to be reacting to the techniques and the products that they choose, and I am going to see if I can offer any help for Ana Laura and other wavy-haired girls like her along the way. Hey guys, it's future Angela just dropping in here to give a huge thank you to the sponsor of today's video, BetterHelp. Is there something interfering with your happiness or your ability to reach your personal goals? I know how that feels. I have struggled for most of my life with depression and anxiety to a pretty severe extent. And one of the biggest steps in the right direction towards my recovery that I ever made was seeking help from a therapist. And that is where BetterHelp comes in. BetterHelp is not a self-help service. It is not a crisis line. It's actually professional therapy done securely online. BetterHelp will assess your needs and match you with your own real-life professional licensed counselor.
Their questionnaire is quick and easy, but still very comprehensive, allowing you to state any of your medical history that your counselor might need to know, as well as your personal preferences, be they emotional or spiritual. That way they can match you with the best counselor in their network for you.
You can log into your account and send a message to your therapist at any time, and you can also schedule weekly virtual video or phone sessions. It's a great way to skip the waiting room experience, which is particularly helpful during this pandemic when going out in public isn't something we're doing a whole lot. BetterHelp is committed to facilitating the exact right therapeutic match for you, so they make it incredibly easy and free to switch counselors to make sure your needs are met. There's a very broad realm of expertise within the BetterHelp counselor network. That means that you'll be able to find a counselor who specializes in what you need to treat, which you might not be able to find locally in your area. Plus, the service is available worldwide. And the best part for me is that it's more affordable than traditional counseling, and they offer financial aid as necessary so that your budget doesn't have to stand in the way of taking care of your mental health. BetterHelp wants you to start living a happier life today. And as a special offer for Fit Curls viewers, you can get 10% off your first month by visiting betterhelp.com/thefitcurls. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/thefitcurls to join more than 1 million others worldwide who are taking charge of their mental health with the help of a licensed professional. So thank you again to BetterHelp for sponsoring this video, and thank you to you guys for continuing to support this channel. Let's get back to it. Quick disclaimer, I am not a professional. I am in fitness. I am not in curly hair. These are just my personal opinions and my opinions alone. Now, all that being said, I am very excited to see if there's anything that I can learn from this video. And I'm very hopeful that maybe I'll be able to contribute some tips and tricks along the way that can help Ana Laura to embrace however her hair naturally grows out of her scalp. So let's get into it.
And today I am joined by Ana Laura, because today we're going to find out whether her hair is actually curly.
This should be fun. I'm so excited about this, actually. I really think my hair is curly. TikTok has convinced me.
I know that you've got a curl.
Right.
Like, these baby hairs curly cue very well.
And like, flashback to that video we did, the natural curls, when we did that with Playa. I was surprised then because I styled it to the best of my ability at that time to be curly.
We're seeing some decent evidence that this girl has a natural wave curl pattern of some kind. So I'm definitely excited to see them apply some more curly hair friendly styling techniques to her hair to see what happens when they actually treat it and assume that there is texture to it.
This is not normally the routine I would have for you in the shower, but I'm saying clarifying shampoo,
Okay.
moisturizing conditioner,
Okay.
and then come see me after.
Clarifying shampoo is actually a really good first step for anybody who's starting a healthy hair journey. Not just because of how long it's been since Anna Laura washed her hair last, but just because like you know that there's got to be a lot of product buildup. And you don't want any of that buildup to interfere with moisture's ability to actually penetrate the hair cuticle and for the curl clumps to form happy little families. So I honestly think a clarifying shampoo and then a very moisturizing conditioner afterwards is going to be a really good first step towards styling her hair curly for the first time.
Can we just like address the fact that you're tanner than me right now?
Okay. I'm a little concerned because Anna Laura is already coming in with her hair wrapped up. The more water you have in your hair to start styling, the better your foundation is because it enables your curls to find their families. So I'll be interested to see if they re-wet her hair at any point in this styling process. So I'm a little nervous.
I have been doing a ton of online research. Mains by Mel, the Welshie girl, like a bunch of other people have been feeding my knowledge. I will put it all in the description box. I'm gonna be really, really honest. I did not get taught how to specifically style curly hair in cosmetology school, and that is wrong.
Yes, it is so wrong. More cosmetologists need to understand that curly hair is not straight hair. You cannot treat textured hair the same way that you can treat straight hair. It's just not a thing. So I appreciate KAYLEY saying that this is a gap in her learning and in her knowledge and in her formal education, and I am so glad that she's doing everything she can to remedy it now. Back to the subject of Anna Laura's hair. It's looking a little dry for my taste. Do you see how it's kind of like you see more stringy pieces out there and pieces that are looking a little bit straighter? I have a feeling if her hair was more saturated with water, we would definitely see a lot more clumping happen.
The Kristen S fragrance-free detangling tonic. She has even said on her Instagram that this is the exact same as her leave-in treatment, just without the fragrance. It's also without silicones. So
Love that.
overall, just a little bit nicer.
A lightweight leave-in like that looks incredibly thin, almost very close to water in terms of its consistency, can be really, really good for finer, more Caucasian hair because it allows your hair to get detangled. It adds some slip without weighing it down. It's a decent start.
So in the Mains by Mel video, there was like application and brushing it through.
She just showed a little screen recording of the C-Stir styling tutorial that she is using for this. And it is very much geared towards curly rather than wavy hair. In my debunking curl myths video, I talked about how your curl type doesn't matter nearly as much as your porosity, your density, all of those other factors actually do in terms of your product choice, but it does impact your application techniques. So yeah.
Do you want to do half and I do half?
Sure.
They should have added way more water into her hair. I always recommend applying your leave-in or your detangling product fresh out of the shower. No drying your hair beforehand, literally on soaking, sopping wet hair. Not only does it dilute the product a little bit so it distributes really easily through your hair, but because your hair has maximum hydration in it, when you add a little bit more emollient ingredient and start closing up the gaps in that cuticle a little bit, you're sealing all of that lovely water into the cortex of your hair, which is going to allow for longer lasting elasticity and spring in your curls.
Compulsive curly hair video watching is that the way that you brush your hair when you're applying products and stuff matters. I don't know when to integrate that. I don't know if it matters most like the last product that you apply or like every product that you apply. It's so odd to me. I'm assuming that this is just for detangling and adding in your leave-in.
Oh man, I'm cringing on Anna Laura's behalf. This looks painful.
All right, so the next thing that I got from that Mains by Mel video is that they did like a curling cream. And I think that you decide that based on what's going on with your hair, whether you need like protein, moisture, frizz control, curl definition. So I thought today we would start with a nice easy one.
Okay.
That is the Miss Jessie's Quick Curls. You guys know that I'm a big Miss Jessie's fan because I use her Jelly Soft Curls all the time. It's a lightweight kind of custardy cream.
Nice.
I guess this is like prayer handsing it.
Prayer hands?
But they applied one round to the whole head and then they sectioned and applied more.
I was wondering if this was gonna happen. Because they're watching Mel and Amanda style their hair, the two tend to lean more towards damp styling, which allows for more separation of their curls, which gives them more volume as they style. But in order for wavy hair to clump most successfully, it needs a ton of water. And I'm a little worried here that this is gonna lead to some really stringy kind of separated waves, as opposed to giving Anna Laura some really nice juicy wave formations. The praying hands technique is a good one to use in this application. However, that was a really solid choice for applying product because praying hands allows you to distribute product while simultaneously not separating the natural curl clumps that form.
All right, and then she brushed her hair out to the side. Oops, sorry. Like encouraged it to do its thing. I know that one of the things that people say it does when you brush it out to the side like that is that it helps with volume. So that's one of the reasons that I'm doing it. And I've also seen Mel talk about in one of her videos that it's good to kind of use it like you're curling a ribbon with scissors. So use the edge of the brush.
Despite the fact that they're using a regular detangling brush, the technique is really good, giving that slight torque on it, just like Kaylee said, just like Mel says all the time, just like I say all the time in my Denman brush tutorials, it's like curling a ribbon with scissors. You're creating that tension, giving that little bit of a turn, which allows that curl formation to spring right back. But because her hair is more likely to make medium to smallish S pattern formations, she needs a lot more water, and that technique isn't causing her curls to spring up the same way that they would if her hair was more saturated with moisture. Interesting because they are, after they brush the hair, they're brushing it and they can see the separation, and then they're taking it after applying that brush technique and kind of twirling it. I don't know how to feel about that. The brushing is supposed to encourage your natural curl clumps to come together. And what they're doing is they're brushing it into its separate clumps, and then they're taking all the clumps at the end and they're kind of creating a clump out of them. That's a new one for me.
I've discovered in all my viewing that like the way that you brush your hair and apply products is basically the key styling moment. I had no idea. So
I have like literally one way I brush my hair.
I know, I have one way I apply my products, and there's like prayer hands and raking and glazing, and I'm like, what the actual, I don't know what any of this means.
I have so much to learn.
But it's about time, you know? It's about time. As a hairstylist, I know how to do this.
I'm a very tactical learner, so I'm excited that we're just like learning on my hair.
Yeah, it's true. There's only so much you can do without actually doing it.
Yeah.
You have some cool little lift going on here.
Yay.
All right, let me grab the water spray bottle real quick.
Okay. Did we scratch it yet? Sorry, I just did.
They're finally adding more water to her hair. And man, do I wish they had done that before even applying her leave-in. Applying more water at this stage in the styling process is still gonna do good things. It's gonna help her clumps come back together a little bit more, reduce some of that stringy appearance. But it would have been a lot more helpful to do that earlier on in the process, so that way the clumps were already formed and the scrunching could help to take some of that excess moisture out of her hair, which was going to accelerate her drying time. It's more of an order of operations thing than anything else, but I'm still glad to see that they're adding water at any point in this styling process.
To capture what's happening here. Wow, I see a wave. All right.
Yay!
And that's the moment I was waiting for. Because they're adding more water to Anna Laura's hair, her clumps are coming together better, and the scrunching is starting to allow that enhancement of the curl pattern to happen, which means we're gonna start seeing some happy clumps.
Now we've got the Amiga Curl Core Enhancing Gel. All right, rub it between the hands. So I definitely want you to have enough gel to be able to create a cast.
I think I have enough. Oh my god, this is giving me such flashbacks to middle school.
You want to make sure that you're also grabbing from the middle of the hair and getting it up towards your roots. There you go.
Okay. Scrunching in gel is a very good application technique. I would have recommended pulsing. Still the same base as scrunching, but you start to kind of pile the hair up and you squeeze it in that scrunch pattern, and then you literally pulse it. little itty bitty squeezes and scrunches while you're there, which allows the product to soak into your hair a little bit longer and also keeps your clumps from separating as much because there's less up and down movement around the clumps. So I'm seeing a little bit of that stringiness come back into play, but I am also seeing some pretty cool curls forming here. So I'll be interested to see what the dry results look like.
I'm just gonna help you plot. Okay. I think we can do it with this.
Yeah, that's a big old towel.
So they're plopping in the same turban that she used to dry her hair before. I don't know if that's the material that I would use for her hair. I am a huge fan of cotton t-shirt towels. So I'm a little bit worried about how much water that's going to pull out of her hair, how much potential it has to maybe separate her clumps and keep them from really getting that nice juicy moisture in them. I say juicy a lot. I'm sorry, but it feels like it's the only word that really fits with curl clumping and all of that. It's just, you want it to be juicy. And the other thing is the technique is a little bit lacking. You can see that they are just kind of holding the towel in space and kind of trying to scrunch the towel up to her head as she's upside down. I highly recommend, if you're going to do a full plop, putting the towel down on a flat surface to accordion your hair downward onto that flat surface where you have the towel laid out. That's going to give you a lot more control and make sure that you avoid any unnecessary wonkification of your curls. We don't like wonk.
And let some water evaporate for a while.
Okay.
I mean, hypothetically, if you're following along at home, you can do this anywhere from 20 minutes to a couple hours.
Okay.
And then
I saw some people do it overnight too.
Yeah.
I wouldn't leave it longer than about 10 to 20 minutes because you risk some bacterial funkiness on the scalp. The longer your wet, product saturated hair sits in an enclosed space right on top of your scalp, the more moisture stays in your scalp for a little bit too long, and that can lead to dandruff and fungus and hair. But also, plopping is not actually a way to get water out of your hair. Plopping is a technique to allow your clumps to set. So the longer you leave your hair in a plop, the more your clumps are gonna set into that exact shape that they're piled in. So if you leave it in too long, especially if you leave it in overnight and you have really fine textured hair, you might wake up the next day and be like, what happened? And that's not what I want for Anna Laura.
All right.
Wow.
Okay, so we definitely have a natural wave pattern here. No amount of curly hair products can make straight hair do what Anna Laura's hair is doing. So I think it's pretty safe to say that we have a wavy girl on our hands. And she looks like she's got some 2C clumps forming.
Look, it's like a wave. Yeah. I
Exciting.
think we're supposed to cover diffuse and then scrunch once the cast starts to form.
Okay.
Wow.
That's the technique I always use. It's a solid choice.
So far we have got it partially, like a lot of the way dry. It's not totally there yet.
Right.
But Mel said that you wanted to start creating the cast with the hover.
And I am seeing some separation of those clumps as they dry. Now, that's not necessarily something that cannot be fixed. That's where a technique that I've been using lately called the Smasters technique comes in. After that initial cast has formed, go in with a little bit of extra product, emulsify it with some water, praying hands, light scrunch, bring those clumps back together, restore the juice. Okay, I'm never saying that again. Another mistake that I'm seeing here, I swear I'm not trying to be super critical, is that in order to test whether her hair is dry, they're scrunching it. That's a big no-no. What I would suggest instead is the pinch test. Taking 2 fingers, giving a very gentle little pinch. That's gonna enable you to not disturb your clumps, but still figure out whether or not your hair is dry. If that area still feels cold and a little clammy, it's still damp, it's still wet, it needs more time to dry. If that area starts to feel warm and crisp, you're dry, baby, you can start scrunching out the crunch and doing whatever you need to do after that.
And then you can start to use your diffuser to go up and scrunch. And my personal opinion around like using the diffuser to scrunch, you like go up, I think it's good to hold it there rather than like going up and down and up and down and up and down.
Scrunch and hold?
Yeah, so I would do that over a few sections until you get dry. And probably take the heat down because it'll just be uncomfortable to do it all the way up.
Taking the heat down is also a really, really good recommendation, largely because you avoid more heat damage by not specifically touching your hair as it gets drier with a super high heat setting.
All right, how's it feeling?
It feels pretty dry.
I think it feels good. You want to flip her over?
Oh my god! What?
Where? How? When? What in the world?
Whoa. I just can't believe that I had this much curl in there.
Me neither. This is our first time trying it. Like, you're gonna get better at it. Holy guacamole.
We've got some serious beachy, saltwater, mermaidy kind of waves going on here. I'm actually kind of living for it. For a first time styling with real curly hairstyling techniques, they did a pretty good job. Their product choices were really solid. They went in with some very good techniques for both styling and for drying. I think they are on a very, very solid foundation for caring for Ana Laura's naturally wavy hair. The number one thing that I would suggest, as I've said for basically this entire video, is more water. Lots and lots and lots more water. You want to hear that nice squishing sound every time you scrunch, and especially for wavy hair, the more water you add, the juicier those wave clumps are going to be. And it's gonna take her hair from mermaid thoughts to mermaid goals. All things considered, well done, KAYLEY Melissa and Ana Laura. You guys picked your sources really well. Excellent product choice. Add a little bit more water and I'm pretty sure you guys are right on the money. So that is it for today's video. What did you guys think? Drop a comment down below letting me know any of your thoughts, opinions, and impressions on this video and any suggestions you might have for Ana Laura as she continues on her wavy hair journey. There's always something that another wavy girl out there could learn. So if you have any tips and tricks for hair similar to Ana Laura's, drop them in that comment section. Now the link for this video in particular is going to be in my bio, as well as a link to KAYLEY Melissa's channel, because she has probably some of the most bingeable hair videos on YouTube as a whole. She just creates such lovely, wholesome content, and it's such a fun way to spend an afternoon. Now, if you liked this video and you want to see more reaction videos like it, hit this with a thumbs up. Not only does it really help to support the channel, but it gives me an idea of what you guys want to see so I can make the fit curls the best fit for you. And speaking of the fit curls, if you haven't joined the family here, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button, click that notification bell, watch a few more videos while you're here. Thank you once again to BetterHelp for partnering with me and sponsoring this video. And with that, thank you guys so much for watching this video and continuing to support the Fit Curls. Love your curls, love each other, and I will see you all next time. Bye. It's more of a, or no.
But they applied one round.
Apparently the ducks outside looked very threatening. To much curly-headed.
As a hairstylist, I know how to do this.
Much more curlier. Sadie, why are you murmuring? Hi. Go in with a little bit of extra product emulsified with Modder. Modder? To her hair. Excuse me, ma'am. Mommy's working. Why can't I talk? Go in with a little bit of extra product after that cast has formed with some... Hi. Hello. So the longer you leave your hair in a plop... Oh, hello, Sadie. Do you have some input for this video? Oh. Dog's interrupting filming.